There we go.
Wait, what about the peanut
Okay.
butter, though? Like,
We can do Hanamar, and don't go straight into not Junkertown. Probably the map after Junker.
Okay.
Well, because Junkertown was, well,
Do you mind?
we all know what happened in Junker.
Okay.
You-
Let's
you
find where we
mean-
were. Okay, yeah, right here. Okay. So,
It's going after you, Lucio.
on the earlier point.
we can rest,
Yeah, res it.
Okay. Well, this is way earlier. Whatever.
Sorry.
You guys know what happened here.
I'm not up there when he was gone. I went back for the rest.
They trapped you,
How did they
and
get pinned?
it was good. You got pinned because you got charged.
Just reset.
I'm at the beginning of it now.
There's a lot- I think
Is everybody else where we should be?
Yeah.
I think it was because I.
Talked
Okay,
about
wait.
it,
Here we go.
right?
Here we go. Here we go.
7 minutes and 4 seconds.
I'm at 7:04.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Vince, go fuck yourself.
Okay,
You're a bot.
704.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to change it to fucking good quality, and it
yeah.
puts
Okay.
me back.
So, then don't. So, what? So, after. So, right now, you're gonna go. You're gonna try and go up main, right? You're gonna get trapped, and then you're dead, right? I can't draw for shit. What you should have done is gone around here, maybe had, like.
Who's you?
What do you mean, who's me? I'm drawing.
Like, yeah, but like.
Oh,
who's-
I'm
you
saying
said
that. I'm
you
saying the
should've.
team as a whole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoever made.
So we should
whoever,
have gone left.
Yeah.
I think we
I
did
mean,
it.
we
Like
eventually-
eventually
Yes,
went.
I
left.
believe you eventually figured it out, but like, so you know that they have sustained tanks over here, right? You're not gonna be able to push through that. You know that they have a Junkrat, right? So wide open space is not your friend. They also have a Hanzo.
Chokes
so,
are not your friend.
Yeah, wide space is also not your friend, right? So if you go left here, you could just you immediately take the space, right? Because if you're stuck over on this right side over here, there's nothing you can do over there, right? You can't push in, you can hardly get out, and as soon as one person gets out, they're just going to dive in and crush the whole team, right? But when you go left and utilize your movement, you already have that space. It's yours. It's locked down, right? That probably would have baited the tanks down into the alleyway over here, you know, like the one that goes to point on the left side. The tanks would have been baited, gone down there. The Ana would have stayed up here. At that point, you could have either just used Widow to snipe the Ana, or the tanks could have dove, but that again leaves the supports exposed. But because you have Genji, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could have done here.
This was not gonna work on the second point.
You eventually figure it out.
They're gonna have boost.
Um,
They're gonna have shatter.
So like right here, right? Vince reminds you to ult track, and you immediately know what ults they have. So you guys are ult tracking in your head, right? But early on, you guys were just failing to vocalize it, right? So just try to especially Vix. I mean, like I said, you're carrying the morale of this fucking team pretty consistently. So like,
Yeah.
if you're trying to figure out a strategy, go into the next fight. Just ask, did blank use blank? You know, did Reinhardt shatter? Did you know? And then it gets people's brains moving to remember the last fight, because they are ult tracking clearly. You know, they're just not saying anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really, really common issue. It's fixed easily. It's just a matter of doing it, you know?
they tried to
Although with their supports they have, when they had gone over to the left side, right?
Yep.
And say the Ana it was Ana Zen, right?
Yep.
Ana or Zen, if they sat on the high ground and your tanks dove them, your supports had more than enough movement abilities to get the fuck out of the way of their tanks.
No, that's a very good point. Considering you have a Lucio, you could have very, very easily done that, right? So you have, with Lucio, right, you have more movement than they do. So what you could have done is gone left, tanks would dive the high ground and at least distract the Ana and the Zen, taking away their healing. And then if the tanks try and move up, or the DPS try and move up and take advantage of the supports, the Lucio could just speed them away. And then Genji could pick up the pieces. That would have been a very smart play here. But again, that's like high level, like, it's easy to think about now that we are stopping and start, just, hindsight's 2020, right? Like, even fucking THS probably wouldn't have come up with that. I can't say that I would have come up with that in the game, but we're thinking about it now. That's the whole point of this VOD review. Like I said, nitpicking, don't be offended.
No, don't go top. Don't go top right.
Yep, that was a good call.
Go mid. Go mid.
I need healing real
Just go
bad.
mid. Just go to the right.
So in experimenting going top right, you guys took a bit of damage, which is okay in this context. Not something you want to repeat after you've done it once. So now top right is pretty much off the, you have no chances of going top right. So just make sure that nobody's going top right for the rest of the game, pretty much. Especially
Can we pause it again real quick?
Yep, go ahead.
We use it as a more of a coachable moment. What? With dive, would going top right ever be a good choice?
No.
Why?
Because
There's a
it's a
choke right
very
there.
tight. It's a very tight space, and you can't use your mobility.
There we go.
Not quite.
Winston?
Not quite.
No, Winston.
Hang on.
In order to jump,
There-
he needs to have a certain amount of headspace.
The only
Going top right,
Vince.
you can't jump anything.
The only context in which going top right would be okay is if you were doing a soft reset and the tanks were already on the ground.
True.
If sustained
Or
tanks,
they're not. Or if the enemy is up on top right, you can't go there.
unless
with
you
dive.
have as much sustain as they do, which you just don't.
You know what's a big yikes
Oh.
right now? Just as out of context, but the Canada versus USA game just started because all the other games were sweeps.
Oh Christ!
What?
Already?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna expedite this process then.
I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
No, now we're gonna just like go through the VOD very fast.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes. Okay. Hang on. Let me
I
find.
wouldn't.
Let me find a good
I'd rather
timestamp.
do the VOD than worry about a game that has nothing to do with us.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not like I will
you can always
I'll
find
rewatch the
a
game.
VOD of the USA Canada game.
Yeah, I'll watch
Just
it again.
stay away from spoilers. Okay. So after Oasis, it's Junkertown. You said no on that, Vince.
Well,
I mean, we
Then-
were running toward.
you're
Like,
running
we're
toward
really-
Bastion Doom.
Oh yeah, that's
That
you're
was
not really
that was their morale game.
Yeah, you're not gonna really learn much from that one. How about Anubis?
Anubis, I think, was good.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't even remember anymore
yeah, same. Okay,
because
whatever.
we
I
did
got a
Oasis and that one was a mess.
Oh, I love how
did.
Visor doesn't have timestamps when you hover over the player bar. That's a really wonderful lack of feature.
It's got so many features, it just doesn't have them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I think we can still watch the second and third map
Oh, it
of
doesn't affect my
Oasis
thing.
if we wanted to, because we were kind of getting our shit together by then.
Yeah, we can go back to that. Let me find the stamp
We
for
just
it.
ran dive here. We ran dive, they did bunker, and then on our
Alright,
defense, we
we're
would
Did
not
we
gonna-
play Nepal?
We're not gonna watch the fucked shit that happened first round because that was fucked.
No, but I'm saying like the
No,
second
the
and
first
third
one we
round. I
won.
think
Yeah,
we kind of
yeah,
got our
yeah.
shit together, and we lost the third one due
okay.
to bad decisions, probably.
What? No, we won this map.
Hang on.
No,
hang
I'm
on,
talking
hang
about the
on,
third
hang
round,
on. We're gonna find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Was this Oasis?
Yeah,
I
Oasis.
thought we were talking about Anubis.
No, I was talking about Oasis. Because we know the first map was fucked, but
See,
the
this
second
is-
one we finally got our shit
This
together.
is why we wait to argue. This is why we argue during the VOD review. Okay.
No, it's not about winning, it's about
You guys did reset. They had economy on you every single push. They had ult economy built from the start because they didn't pause. Don't get tilted about that last round. It was bullshit. Like that was pretty much loaded in their favor. It's fine. Just
Should I just like DM the captain and go like, yeah, I'm not scrimming against you guys anymore?
I wouldn't.
No, just
not
okay,
now.
we'll
Just
finish-
leave it for the end. You're mad now. Don't
Leave
be
it
angry.
there.
Focus on this round.
Well, I'm gonna play like shit for the rest of the scrim if I'm pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
you were very wrong about that one. Let me tell you. You have not. I promise you, you have not been more wrong in a while.
Just take, Braska, take a deep breath for me. Let me take care of things here. Alright.
Vix, as far as shot caller goes, I mean, you did fantastic. Like, this entire time I was messaging Vince and Powell, like, holy shit, Vix is just carrying morale here. Like, I'm serious, if you wouldn't have interjected, like, barring me hopping into your voice comms in between fights, like, everybody would have just tilted off the planet and that would have been it, right? And Weska,
Man,
like,
Vix, you just need to play with Sam on comp more because he tells himself like that all the time. If
okay,
he literally
okay.
tilts himself in comp.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna go over something relatively basic,
Yikes.
but I have a grand point to this, right?
Just don't tilt forehead. Don't
Weska,
get angry.
playing tank is disheartening to say the least. It is.
I know.
A lot of
Everyone
times you
shits
feel
on
like
you.
you're feeding your brains out,
Okay, so
but you
your
might
job.
be doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. Your job is not to kill things. You create space so that other people can kill things. That's why it's so goddamn
Yeah,
frustrating. Because if somebody doesn't
I
kill
know.
something,
I'm aware of that.
So just
And there's also
try to keep
like,
that in the back of your
this is
head.
this is a good example of what happens in most of my solo queue comp games. I was playing with Gaming Penguin the other time. This time when this happened, these are statements from the same person within a 2-minute time interval. You need to play more aggressive, and you need to stop being so aggressive. That's literally the life of a Reinhardt.
Yep.
And the same person said this within 2 minutes.
Imagine what it feels like
Yeah.
to play support when you literally have to sit back and let everybody do everything
Yes,
for you.
okay.
It's even worse.
So
No, and
Okay,
the
hang on,
fucking Junkrat in the
on.
game too
We're
was
about
like,
to-
put up your goddamn shield,
we're about to
then
get-
stepped in
we're
front of
about
the
to get
shield.
into the grand point here, right? Tanks create space for the DPS to get killed. Or get kills, right? Get killed, that also is sometimes correct, but that's not what you're meant to do. So, as the tanks create space, as a DPS player, you need to recognize that that space has been made and take advantage of it, right? And if you get a kill on a support, even if you trade with a DPS hero, right? So maybe in this situation, right, playing Genji, you kill the Sombra, but the Pharah kills you. That's fine. You're still even, right? Like you've created positive value for the team because you've removed that utility. Sure, you're dead and you have less damage now, but you can play around that, you know? If you get a support pick, it really, like, it doesn't matter if you die. Like, if everybody else does their job, fight's over. Like, that's done, you know? You can get rezzed once there's an opening. But let's get into it since I'm trying to watch this game in a bit.
Fuck, Sombra's right side, she hacked me.
Okay, so Monkey Dove, nobody really called it there.
Diva, she's on Mercy.
Nobody really followed you, Weska, but you're doing a good job of staying up.
She's so low.
Did you get hacked there? No, you didn't. That was lucky. Either a nice shield or... good call for good call for reset there. You called it at the right time. Calling resets too early is actually one of my biggest fucking pet peeves, like, in the world. Like, if you're 2 down, like, sure, you can be down in off support and maybe a utility-based DPS, but if you're down both your DPS, if you're down a main tank, you know, it's all context-based, but knowing when to call the team out of a fight is extremely valuable, and you picked exactly the right time there.
Yep. It's also
just really
a
quick,
lot of
want to let
that
everybody
is-
know that there's Canada-US spoilers in general chat.
Oh, great. Okay. Time to avoid that.
Sinatra's playing Reinhardt. What the?
So,
Verity University.
so as far as when to call a reset, it's also knowing if you still have your win condition available.
Yes, yes. So, if
That is key.
so in the
If you
in
can
the case
still
of,
do something and wipe them,
yes,
The thing is that like I have trouble
That
identifying
would be
win
the time
conditions.
to-
That's what I need the help
to
with.
say winnable and
Weska,
use your win condition.
Weska, here's win conditions. Okay, you have one ultimate that disables them in some way, shape, or form. That's Grav, that's Shatter, that's EMP, that's hell, you could use Bomb to zone them out of certain spaces or get the Rhine to turn around. A win condition could even be a break shield bash. Sometimes in Rhine v Rhine battles, the win condition is just breaking his shield first. so that you can just collapse in.
Okay, so I'm just like thinking about it a little too hard.
Yeah, no,
win
it's
condition is just anything that could cause you to win the fight.
mass destruction.
Mass destruction. Like
if you get
if you have a nano blade and a trance to cover it,
that's a win condition.
I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
if your Rhine dies.
If your Genji
Nano
does
blade
his,
when you trance.
yeah, if your Genji does his job right, that's it. And Vix as
That isn't poking fun at anyone at all.
no. Vix as shot caller
I'm laughing at the smiley face.
before every fight, you need to identify what your win condition is and make your team aware of it. If somebody goes outside of the plan, you need to rip into them. Because you need to be thinking not about this current fight, you need to be thinking about the next fight, right? So say you have you're running Junkrat, Reinhardt, Zarya, and Hanzo, right? Just for example. Support ults, just for this point, aren't relevant, right? So you call for the Grav Dragon first, right? But your Rhine sees an opening and shatters, right? That's okay if it's a big shatter, that's perfectly fine, but he or she needs to communicate that he's looking for that opening before the shatter, okay? So Weska, if you see an opening for a big shatter and there is an ult that you can combo with, you need to make them aware that there's a big opening, and unless the Reinhardt dies, you, not in 100% of cases, but I'd say most of the time, you can afford to wait, right? Unless you have a 6K like right in front of your face, in which case say fuck it, But like, if so, like shattering is fine as long as the combo is already set up and the entire team is aware that you're switching from Grav Dragon over to Shatter Tire, for example. But if you do Grav Dragon and then, say you're up 2 people, there is no reason to use any ultimates besides supports. Supports are the exclusion. And even still, being 2 up in a fight and popping a support ultimate, that's sketchy, just depending on the context of the picks and everything. Can I please have control back?
No, that's really that's distracting me so hard.
Another thing, the caveat off of that with ult rotation is another thing to get used to.
Yes.
So say you have both tank ult Ryan Zarya, right? You should try to use your shatter first. It's 10 times easier to counter a shatter than it is a grav. So that just good shatter works.
You can build shatter super fast.
Not only that.
Extremely fast.
You can build shatter.
Grav.
You can build shatter off of the grav, right?
Yeah, that's literally what I said, and then everyone repeated me.
We agree.
Yes. You're doing good, kid.
Or you didn't hear me. One of the two.
You done good, kid. Okay.
Done good.
Yeah. So
do I get a medal or a cookie?
That's win conditions. One of my
talk about cookies. I need to go get cookies.
One of my
someone spam me with DMs and we're gonna scram.
What? Okay, whatever. One of my favorite, personally, one of my favorite like win condition ult combos is with D.Va bombs. So if you are ever running a Rhine D.Va, it is extremely satisfying as a tank main to set it up correctly. You just lob the D.Va bomb over, and then as soon as the Reinhardt turns around, you just shatter the shit out of him. And even if you get 1 or 2, like it's still amazing. It feels fantastic. Another good one is
remember the fucking Death Note play with Canada?
Yeah, exactly. Bomb and EMP.
I forgot who it was. Someone.
All right, let's get into the VOD. Let's get into the VOD review. That's fucking that's win conditions. Stop taking fucking control.
Oh, I just got double air shot.
Stop. Tap.
Yikes.
And I'm recording it for them.
What?
God, I wish I had admin rights on this Discord server.
The fuck? No, on 76?
Are there fucking permissions in this dumbass visor program?
I don't think so.
How are
I
there
don't
not
know.
permissions? What a fucking shitty fucking website. Okay, whatever. Just stop, because we all want to watch the Team Canada game.
Yeah, Sam, just stop memeing just once, please.
What do you mean?
Okay. They should have a barrage
Okay,
now. They might have another coalescence.
Diva there dove completely alone. She's just gonna go soak damage for no reason. Monkey's not on her. Weska, you probably saw that and decided to go in after him, which is fine. It's his fault for committing to the fight in the first place.
EMP
you
should
guys-
not be on.
Ow! Oh, I just got double air shot.
Or not, that's fine. That's good too. He didn't take
Can I
damage.
arrest you?
You guys are just chilling here doing nothing. You have 2 main healers. While your Mercy reses, the Ana can keep her up. She's got the anti-nade, she's got the sleep dart. Just fucking go do something, right? Like, you're just standing here soaking damage while your Mercy isn't healing anything, because she's resing. So you're just slowing yourselves down even more here. Just pick a target, commit to it. Although I do admit, this composition is very hard to dive into. That was a good call. You saw an opening, took advantage of it. But like I said, you took too much damage, and that's why you died there. But that's okay. You made the space. You broke up the
Why
start
is
of the
no one
play.
attacking the thing I'm calling out?
Because we left the monkey behind us. I got dove with
Well,
Emo. And
Yeah, so your team also, they over-peeled a little bit here. Just got distracted, which is fine. It's just another team play to work out. But like I said, when you have 2 main healers, usually they can keep each other up. Like, 99% of the time, they can keep one another up. Granted, you won't be getting any heals during that period, but at least your supports aren't dead.
I didn't know that. You need to communicate with that with me.
You wasted.
No idea why he
Are we
bombed
still
there.
pushing
That was a
Are we up?
pretty
Yeah, just
hard
go,
bot
go,
play.
go, go, go. Monkey,
Big
he's
it,
pink.
big it.
Nice job defending your
Diva,
Ana
diva,
there.
baby diva, baby
Then you
diva,
found
baby
the next
diva.
target and took advantage of it.
Mercy. Moira.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a good play, Weska. Vix,
I'm waiting for the Lucio call. That one is better.
yeah. Vix, that was a really good job to ask whether or not to go in. Looking from third person, it was pretty obvious, but still, yeah, it's all about information. You asked for the information, you got it quickly. That was fantastic. Captain specifically put me in because these guys need to get used to
Guys,
I found it.
when they dive you, I don't want you guys to push, your moving abilities until they actually use theirs, okay?
Okay.
And then you attack whatever use their movement.
They
abilities.
should have an EMP here.
They're distracted on me.
Also
High
call.
ground,
Yeah.
high ground, high
Okay.
ground.
Can we pause real quick, so I can caveat off for what I just said in the scrim? When you're going dive, probably 8 times out of 10, usually the people who dive second win, because the fact that you can focus your
You're gonna
aggression
talk
where
about
it's
what
needed.
my ability to get up on high ground. They weren't even there yet. If that's what you're
Oh
referring to.
no, that's not what
No,
we're
no,
referring
no,
to.
no, no.
No,
I said something about
we're saying
you know-
in general, right?
in general when
yeah.
you're using when it's dive, right? Usually the team that dives second loses because the fact that you have your cooldowns to use to get to wherever they wanted to go,
Dive
and
second.
then it isolates.
Dive second wins. You mean?
Dive
Said lose.
seconds usually wins.
Yes.
Especially if you're running counter dive with the McCree, which you're doing. Your McCree should be sitting around probably your Ana. You're in this comp, McCree and Ana should be best buddies because they have the least mobility out of anyone. So they're going to be the dive targets.
Another thing.
And then you could take all your whole team and put it wherever they put their tanks
yeah.
and kill their tanks, and then it's a dead dive.
Another nitpicky kind of thing here. They're probably gonna come through here, right? Through main because they can't jump going through building. What would have been smarter, and this isn't a mistake, again, just nitpicking, if the Ana moved over here, right, she would have line of sight all the way like that, right? So if your tanks go in and engage, she can still get healing on them, and that leaves the Mercy to help with any flankers, right? Again, that was nitpicky, but still. We'll see if it happens.
You can't see you there.
I'm gonna go for a flick on you.
They're coming main. They're coming main.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so this is their win condition here. You see the Sombra setting up? Their win condition here is the EMP.
Bat EMP.
Yeah, pretty much. Just catch you guys while your guard is down. Sombra, in my opinion, is very hard to play against. Especially as a main tank.
Summer, she's one.
Nano here was a good call.
Diva.
Good job,
Calling-
Weska, not
yeah.
pressing Q when you got nanoed.
Yeah, that was good.
You do more damage with the Tesla cannon.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Alright, I'm back here. I have Alex.
Yeah, that was a good
They're
call.
gonna have High Noon, and they're going to have Monkey
They-
Coalescence.
They wasted all of their ults
No,
there.
just-
and Diva Bomb. They're gonna have Diva Bomb as well.
Sombra's pushing in. She's on the way.
And saying that they have it, they're gonna have it there. That's fine because they almost have it, right? Your team is gonna play more cautiously around those people, therefore not giving them any more ult charge, right? So that's perfectly okay. Don't worry about like miscalling ultimates by 30%. Like you don't know, you know what I mean? Plus or minus 20-30%, completely fine.
Alright. She's somewhere in there.
I really like the honest position right now.
They're going main.
I can use Log whenever they push
Good
in.
call.
I'm gonna use Log whenever they push in.
One thing I do like, you guys are doing a really good job of staying in a triangle. Tanks are over here. DPS and support over here. Your Ana is back here somewhere, right? So you're in a triangle, which means that no matter which way they come from, you can respond to it, which is fantastic.
And someone's gonna be shooting him in the back.
Damn,
DVD slept.
Lewis Center, Ohio.
McCree left side. McCree left side.
Got him.
Blue Nissan. Like I said to you before, Weska, great job making the repeat call. You know, making your point clear, making your target clear.
They should come in with
A lot of times that's just what it takes. People are,
High Noon.
No, Lucian just
you know, like red mist when you get pissed off and you're not really thinking.
Lucian doesn't have ult.
That happens a lot in Overwatch.
Main,
So
main.
saying it over and over again.
You're going
If
right.
some,
Right.
if
Especially when
people
people
see
aren't
red and
focusing.
they like, I want to kill this person.
Yep.
You need to make them realize that ain't the right target at times.
That was really good recognizing the Sombra. Good avoid on the bomb. You guys are still relatively in a triangle, but it's really chaotic right now.
Lucio.
That's more of a setup
Say
thing.
Lucio all night, guys.
Again, good
No,
call.
Frog Boy. Okay.
Making the
Bring
point
her
that
under
nobody's
Rosie.
engaging.
Diva.
There's really nothing you could do about the
Baby Diva, Baby
Mercy
Diva.
because you've got Pharah to deal with her,
McCree right.
which is fine, you know.
Mercy.
Yep, good call. You recognize that she was on the ground and she can't get up in the air.
She's on point somewhere.
The monkey's hiding. The monkey's hiding over here. He's jumping in.
You might have a.
Really, Weska, I was talking about target priority after the scrim. In this particular game, you were right on, like perfectly on. You know, you were identifying the biggest threats first. As soon as the Mercy was in a spot where she can't get out of, you recognized it and immediately dove her, and made the call repeatedly. So yeah, that was perfect.
Whatever thing at this point.
These idiots.
Dude, fantastic calls.
Good job.
Yeah, Weska, I'm never ever making you mad. Ever.
You do not want to make me mad ever.
Good round, guys.
I mean, maybe in
Well, you know
scrims
what?
want to make me mad.
Yeah, you need somebody to piss you off, and you'll be taking my spot on Verity in no time.
No, I'm staying with university.
if I-
That's my job.
If I keep playing like I did today, it won't be long. New meta,
you
get
gotta make
Weska, get Weska tilted.
I'm very loyal to university, so I'm gonna
Oh,
stick
okay.
there.
Well, that's good. I don't
Oh,
have
well,
I don't have a,
being the captain of the team kind of makes you
that's good. I don't have an immediate threat. Thanks for the warning. No,
You can be a bot all you want. I don't plan to replace you.
Just gotta stay up on whether or not Palamon
Like
is
Hardy, do more
trying out new
damage, does
tanks.
Also, Sam, something I did notice is, you're McCree, right? And you're running a more.
Oh, that was the most like nervous, awkward laugh I've ever fucking. All right, we're gonna mute. We're all right. I'm gonna remind myself in post when I don't remember to edit this that I need to edit that out.
Why McCree's in the car. Your job there is to
No, I have a
literally
very weird
sit on,
hyena
like, your
laugh.
Ana or your Mercy and protect them.
Okay.
Be
Instead
their
of going off
condom.
on, like,
Be their condom.
Can we quote that? Can we quote that?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, hang on,
Be
hang
their
on.
condom.
All right, it was 59:44 to 59:47. I'll cut it tonight and send you a clip.
Wait, what was the context of that again?
I don't
I don't
remember
care. No context, man. Be their condom.
No context. Be their condom.
Also,
God.
Sam, something I did notice is
I'm thinking of so many terrible jokes right now, but I'm on recording, so I'm not gonna.
to McCree, right? And you're running
Alright, hang on,
more of an
shh, shh, shh.
anti-dive comp. That's why McCree's in the comp.
I don't know if I
Your
can
job
say
there
that
is to
because-
literally Wesker's the sit worst. on like your Anna or your Mercy and
What do you
protect
mean
them.
I'm the worst?
Okay.
Be
So
there.
they go-
Okay, so you're talking about
so,
feeling.
so much.
you're talking about
Exactly.
anti-dive. The McCree has to be the support's condom. That's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Mercy needs a bigger condom.
Exactly.
Guys! What are they running? Do we know yet?
Monk, they're doing dive again. They're up top. Monkey no jump. Monkey no jump. Monkey jump. Monkey.
Using
monkey,
movement
top
to get using movement to get up there, perfectly fine.
right.
Because they didn't have it either. And like like Vince said, made the point earlier. They dove first, you dove second, and they are retreating first.
Sorry, I don't know.
Not sure why your diva boosted there. Guess she just got target fixated. I think that's the Mercy right there. Mercy's dead. It must have been Farah. But
No, the Ana got the mercy.
I don't know what the fuck he was chasing after. Probably the Farah.
Directions.
Yeah, it was the Farah. I don't know why he was
Summer on
chasing her
point, summer
there.
on point,
That's
summer
okay.
on point, summer on
I
point.
can't see you, Westcott, can't see you?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm actually gonna arrest you.
Good
Oh,
LOS
hello?
callouts.
Gotcha.
Hello?
Only thing would be, because you have a diva here, you can make the call for defense matrix. Would have been safer, but in this context, you got away with it. You know, it was only a diva in front of you. Not terribly dangerous, but not something you want to repeat against higher elo teams. Without, I guess you could say, a condom of your own.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Go ahead.
Let's pause it here.
Yep.
One team fight, right? Where should you be resetting when want to have the point as dive?
High ground. I guess that we didn't do.
Sit in the high ground.
I don't think
Okay,
you. I'm not sure if you did or not, but
Guess what shape I'm gonna draw here?
Condom.
Close.
A triangle.
Hey, have you ever heard of this neat new business? See, I have a boss, and I'm gonna be your boss, and then you can be the boss of anybody you bring in. No laughs for the pyramid scheme joke? Okay, fine.
Diva, 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 diva.
Winston
Okay,
behind,
she's
Winston
leaving.
behind.
Fuck
Oh,
that.
that was a good call for the Winston
Winston
Somewhere
behind.
up top, somewhere up top, somewhere up top.
Here's someone.
Again,
Okay.
red mist
Snake,
there.
I know the
girls are loud. Do not be afraid to talk over them, especially in that situation.
Summer's near
All
the
good,
water
though.
bed. He's on the high ground.
Evo, what are you doing?
No, keep up. And this is what happens when I browse Reddit during a VOD. I don't see things that I should. Comms, you guys are doing great.
Actually, we did set up for the high ground. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
In that context,
yeah, we
in
did.
that context, it was all right because you did have stragglers that you had a chance to stagger them, but you didn't. That's okay. You know, it happens. They got away. No big deal.
Where are you? I see. Are you gonna...
Just
Okay.
trying to farm some extra
No
ult
point, no point.
charge.
I make dove.
Monkey,
That was a
monkey,
good
monkey,
call,
monkey, monkey,
that you're
monkey,
being
monkey,
dove.
monkey, 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 monkey.
See, Sam, when you
but
Sam,
McCree was on the low ground. McCree wants to be on the high ground, and you want your tanks on the dildo.
yeah,
Okay.
that's my new favorite.
Okay.
That's my
Condom
new
for the
favorite. That's my
dildo.
new favorite call.
In,
out.
in Overwatch, anything that's long and cylindrical, it's a dildo.
Great.
It's just what it
Um,
is.
I don't know what kind of dildos you're using, but slender.
Cylindrical.
Oh.
I didn't say slender. Cylindrical.
Okay.
Yikes.
Fucking alright. Let's just get back on topic here. Fucking okay. You use movement to get down there. Not ideal, but also okay. Sam, DC.
For me, I didn't use movement to get down there. The fire booped me.
Oh, perfect. Even better. Then
Yikes.
you done good, kid. For Sam, I'm gonna go ahead and reference your Gibraltar game. Do you see how when you talk, you receive help? My point is talk. And stop watching the fucking World Cup game. I know you are.
Rip. Mercy, 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 mercy. She's half. She's half. She's half.
Oh, she's half, but half where? You can see everybody looked around and kind of, yeah, even Vix
Yeah.
looked around. Just.
I was actually looking at my own, hoping for healing because I was like.
Oh, okay, whatever. Well, again, your Doomfist is out, fucking doing his own thing. I don't even know where you are or were, Weska. I guess you were over here. You're over
yeah.
here, right?
No, but Weska didn't die.
Yes.
She's not
dead.
Yes.
Not dead.
I'm looking at the.
No, she's not.
I'm looking at the blue side. We're gonna forget about that. Anyways,
Weska
Point-
isn't dead yet.
point being, location calls are important.
She's
I'm
still
low,
half.
low, low,
Yeah, I
low,
can
low,
see you, I
low,
can see you,
low,
I
low.
can see you, I can see you.
You said I'm low. That's fantastic.
I'm pushing forward.
Diva, 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 diva. She's super low. She's super low.
So right here, just call this choke, call this main, call that left high ground, and on the right side you can call it right, you can call it traffic, you can call it
I call it cars.
yeah,
Coast.
cars is perfect, coast is good.
Usually anything that has just like a dead drop off is coast.
Yes, and Point One Rialto is a very, very good map for learning callouts because there are a lot of routes that they can go through. But we can cover that later, and not when there's a World Cup game that we all want to watch.
Come back, Snake, 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 come back, come back, come back. I'm not gonna be able to feel that.
So
I'm body
bad.
blocking. I'm body blocking. Okay.
Nice. Alright, can I rest? Ah, I didn't make it in time.
Okay, so
Where's
Alright, high
Sarah?
ground, high ground, high ground, high ground.
yeah, that was a good call.
Okay.
I'm not there. I'm not there.
Icy's being
Guys,
greedy
don't
here.
use holds, use holds.
He
Don't
really
use
he
holds.
really tried,
But just don't-
No,
but
no, no,
he's
just hold on. I
simple fact of the matter is, he's not Brandito. He saw it on Fresh Nuts. He wanted to try it. I props to him for trying it, but you know
Heck.
that's why we have practice.
I'm gonna walk whenever
Think
they
you got a Sombra?
Dude,
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
I was gonna ult out of there.
Please tell me we didn't use all 6 ults this fight.
Point, 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 point.
Oh,
point.
we're about to find out. There's Valk. That's one.
She's gonna use EMP.
Don't know why he
Watch
moved
her
mid.
EMP, watch her
Didn't
EMP.
know why
Diva,
Diva
Diva,
moved
Diva,
mid
Diva, Diva,
down there.
Diva, diva.
Good callouts. You use Nano. Pal would be angry with you for
Mercy,
using
mercy,
both
mercy,
of your
mercy,
support
mercy,
ults, but
mercy.
I'm not.
Just me and you.
I'm personally not.
It depends on if it's a stand ult or a
Yeah, it depends.
offensive
It
ult, like-
depends a lot on the timing and a lot on the type of ultimate. Using them both at the same time usually not a good plan.
I mean,
Especially with the
normally you
Zenyatta.
don't want to use things like trans and beat together, or trans and
yes, that's-
Valk,
the
or
Trans and
Valk and
Valk
beat.
is it's
The
although
only
although
the
Trans
only-
and Valk
no, no,
can
no.
still be really strong
the only
because
context.
Mercy just
only-
switches to Blue Beam.
The only support ult you kind of just can throw away willy-nilly is
The
Nano,
only
kind
context,
of.
the only context in which Trans and Valk is okay is when you get graved, the Mercy is not in the grav, and the Zenyatta is, because you can out heal the dragon that comes in. But if they put
Or
in,
you could just like do trans and then have Mercy on power boost.
or you could
Yeah.
save both of them, and just save it for next team fight, and then roll them over with 2 support ults, because you can initiate on Valk, have enough healing. As soon as that ends, pop the Trans, and nobody is going to fucking die. It does not matter what happens. They could run fucking Bastion, Junkrat, you know.
God's fist could come down and it will not stop us.
Exactly. Anything outside of a Diva Bomb pretty much won't kill you.
You Weska. I'm getting out.
And if it does kill you, they tried real hard to kill you. You know, they
Just ult, alright?
rest easy knowing that they wanted you
Just
dead.
ult.
He should have just been running straight for the coast here. When he got demeched up here, he should have just ejected out this way and just made a beeline straight for the environmental, but that's okay. Again, nitpicking.
Oh hey, we didn't use all 6 ults that fight.
No, you
Thank
didn't.
God.
Unfortunately, you didn't use all 6 ults because you all died too quickly, but, you know.
If you die,
Alright, we
wait,
have-
where
can't
were you
use
at?
your
Were you at?
roll.
Is that 87?
82.
82.
Also,
Okay,
that's
then,
another
Then that's fine not to use ults.
that's another
okay.
thing too. In a control point map, right? Do you guys know the magic number?
Is it
99.
96?
Nope. Any more guesses?
Well, 96 is a magic number, but not the one he's talking about.
80,
No, it's a number that happens after the magic and
80.
it doesn't work.
85. Burn that into your memory. Burn the number 85 into your memory.
Why 85?
At 85%, they cannot get from spawn to the point without a Lucio in time. So if you
That
get
is it. That
if
is
you
if
get to 80
if their team
if
dies.
you get to 85% and kill a Mercy or kill a McCree or kill a Hanzo, they cannot get back to the point in time to do anything meaningful. Because
Well, that's more talking like if you do a team wipe at 85%, they can't get back in order to contest.
period. And with a Lucio, it varies from map to map and how good the Lucio is at doing rollouts. But for just a ground Lucio who uses boost, it's 92, I believe. Yeah, because Lucio speed boost is...
Although with Wrecking Ball, it's probably...
Yeah, but
for contest purposes?
that's a desperation play. I mean, chances are their comp is not going to be built around having a Wrecking Ball, and it's just going to be a desperate sustain that they're not going to win unless they have economy.
True.
Which
I mean, they have a pretty big
but-
right now.
But in this context, if they are that close to losing the game, they should not have economy because they should have used all of their ults to try and win the fight.
Okay,
They're gonna have
Go ahead.
another magic number. Vic said it was 96. Why is 96?
You have 3 seconds to touch to trigger the overtime before you hit
No,
99. Something
Nope.
like that.
If you are on
It
the
has to
point
do
at
with
96
overtime.
seconds and get off the point, it will trigger overtime.
Something like that. I knew it had to do with overtime. I don't remember what exactly.
Yeah. If you are on the point at 96 seconds and step off, or at 96% and step off, it will still go into overtime.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool mechanic. Yeah. But anyways, in this context, basically, if you get like 78-ish%, don't do a hard reset. Just die on point. Try and get that 85. Like, don't even shoot shit. Just run in circles. Like, just try and stay away from the enemy team, because if you can get it to 85, they're donezo. Like, that's it. You only have to win a 1 team fight after that. So, like, in this...
And also, sometimes it allows you to stall out enough, and you might be able to get reinforcements in, and
yeah.
who knows what will happen.
That's a messy thing, you know? Like, that
It's
happens.
messy.
It's all context. But, so say you were to get to 86% here, right? All you would have to do is do 1 or 2 dry pushes and try to get them to expend these ultimates. That would give you... I mean, you have already got a shitload of economy, so you probably wouldn't even have to do that. I'm betting that you win this next fight, unless the EMP is big.
I
Anyways,
don't know if we lose this map though, so I don't think we ever get a
Yeah.
Harry, and they're
Oh,
gonna
They don't know.
well,
man.
we'll
they
see.
haven't used EMP, so they're going to have EMP.
Well,
Well, then let's
Wait,
find
wait,
out
wait,
why
wait,
you
wait.
lost the map,
Wait for
and
Doofus
then
to
after
engage.
this we'll be done for now, at least. If you guys want to keep going tonight, my scrim will be done around 10. If you want one-on-one, or if you watch through this on your own and you pull a couple of things that you're curious about, feel free to message me anytime. I've said it 1,000 times. I have no life, and I am more than happy to help you out with anything that you have questions about.
Whenever Doofus uses assaults, we start pushing forward because they're gonna be looking for him.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Watch,
They found
watch
me.
for EMP. Watch for EMP.
They found me. They found me.
All right. All right.
Fucking
Let's
Sombra.
grab that. Still though, use your ult. Get in there. Use your ult, and then we.
Okay, ready? Going in 3, 2,
Vix,
1, jump.
right there.
I made a plan, but it didn't go well. Oh.
Well, it's half of a plan, right? You said go in, use your ult, right? Which,
Mhm.
that's fine, but
Oh, so I
You
know
wanna-
what. Okay, so the thing that went through my head was if Doomfist presses Q right now, they're gonna start looking for him because they don't want to get punched into the ground. That gives us free diving in.
Okay.
Now, I didn't choose what to dive, which is my fault. I
yeah,
probably
yeah.
should have
No,
called something to kill first.
That's actually
But that was the idea.
that's actually
that I
pretty
had.
smart. I'm glad to hear that. This is going to sound very mean. I don't mean this in a mean. I do not intend for this to come off in a mean way, but I don't know how to say it otherwise. I am glad that there
Mhm.
was critical thinking behind that call. I am relieved.
The way you go through a lot of like a VOD review is you try to think of it like an onion, and you just peel back the layers.
Yeah.
You know, the more
So-
layers you can go back into the thinking, the better the plan it was.
Yeah.
So if the plan is go to point and press Q, that's like one layer. There isn't any actual thinking behind it.
Okay.
But there's more layers behind just to go in and press Q.
I has an idea.
It would have been okay to be, maybe you might have been a little bit more vocal about it to your teammates, so they understood.
I mean, I
No.
said
The
it.
only issue I had though is that like we were told use alt, but what alt?
Okay, yeah, I wasn't
Yes.
specific. Yeah,
Okay,
okay, so
so-
before we got into that, I'm pretty sure I said Doomfist used your ult. Like I said, or I said Icy or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll push in. But then to reinforce it, I just said use alt instead of saying again,
Yes.
hey,
you
where's
wanna,
my Doomfist ult?
You want to come up with a imagine like when somebody gives you directions with all of the street names versus somebody giving you directions like, oh, turn right at that yellow sign. You know,
Mhm.
you just did like, sure, you were coming up with a plan, but it was one of those like, you know, like it could be misconstrued. What I
Mhm.
would have done here personally, I'm trying to think. I would have lobbed Diva Bomb up over here, right? That zones them down. And then you could have... I'd have your McCree ult here, use Monkey to zone them out right here. We'll come up with a different color. So, the yellow circle is McCree, the Monkey is in green. Monkey can zone them out, they're already moving away because of the Diva Bomb. McCree may be able to get a high noon, and if not, they'll at least be more bunched up for Doomfist to get his ultimate, right? Like, a plan like that would have been, like, GPS, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, Jane level mid-game
I feel like we
strats.
probably should try to sit down to practice combos like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't want to like super complicated because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have enough
That's another
synergy
one of
yet.
those things that
Well,
you know,
I'll tell
we
you...
could we could develop a drill to work on that to
Yeah.
do, you know. You want to work on this combo? So, okay, we're just gonna
Yeah,
get people to set up and work on the combo.
I am subbing in for Weska this time next week. I will make sure to make a point out of that and just try and come up with some fun stuff for you guys to do.
Diva.
Weska, you dove
I'm
first
EMP'd,
here.
I'm EMP'd.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna die.
I sort of forgot about the EMP, and so did you. That's okay. It was a chaotic fight last fight, and you didn't really know who was outputting a lot of damage. Like right here, right? They were on, before you initiated that fight, they're on like 30%, right? Sure, you're on dive and you want to be moving quickly, but Vix, if you're trying to figure shit out, or if you don't quite know the enemy's ult economy, just tell everybody to shut the fuck up and stop. Just be like, stand and spawn, I need to figure out a plan, right? And then work out what kind of ults, especially when you have time like this, right? In time-sensitive situations, I wouldn't be as opposed to that kind of call because it's chaotic, it's hectic. You know, it's like running goats. Like, you know, you just shoot whatever the target callers does. You know, there's no real plan going into it. You just wait for somebody to drop, right?
Yeah.
But in this situation, you had the time to just give
We
yourself
just
a
needed
second.
to slow down.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should have slowed
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and then repeated what I said in the match time
Yeah,
to have
yeah,
actually worked
yeah.
out.
Again, you guys were just excited from almost full holding them, and that's okay. Just something to think about in the future. Especially from the shot caller position. It's a really difficult job overall.
Another critical thinking moment. What's the difference between attack and defense?
Attack you choose where to fight. Defense you choose Defense you choose where to fight. Attack you choose when to fight.
Exactly. You don't need to go in as soon as possible. Come up with a plan. Execute the plan. Okay. If it takes a couple seconds to execute the plan, or to come up with the plan, that's okay. If it takes a couple seconds to stage to execute the plan, that is okay.
Yeah.
As long as the plan comes off and you win.
And
As long as you're not getting picked off in setting up for the plan, it's a win.
Vix, one of the main reasons I really, really like New Sombra, even though I hate playing against her and I do not play her myself, is because she can get you so much goddamn intel. She could tell you everything that they're doing, right? So if you have a Pharah, I mean, you do, or no, you don't have a Pharah. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side again. But if you are to have a Pharah or a Sombra, or you know, somebody's way up there who just happens to have visibility or whatever the hell, ask where they are, because that so say they're on the high ground, right? You're not gonna be able to shatter the high ground very easily. So Grav may be the better call, right? or
Mhm.
running dive tanks if they're on the high ground, you may want to zone them off with a diva ult, and then dive on whoever drops. There's a lot of details, and it's a fucking hard job, but you are better at it than most, so rest easy. Knowing that.
Yay. Or I should die if I
Um,
don't. That's impressive.
You guys
Watch
got a little bit
Jane,
harder.
especially a lot of his scrim VODs.
Reset.
Yes, Jane is much better at this than I am. That was actually a pretty good
Can we get
meteor
him
strike,
down?
but you
Yeah,
were already
get
down on the
there. Yeah,
fight.
Let's get the Lucio too.
Get in there, get in there,
No
get in there.
no reason for Icy to get mad there. Very little reason for him to ult in the first place. This goes back to providing intelligence to your team, because not everybody is looking at the feed all the time. So Weska playing main tank, right? Everybody knows your voice, right? But we may not recognize that it's you immediately. So you'll say, I'm dead, and people take half a second to think who's dead, right? But half a second in this game means quite a bit, right? So, personally, what I've been pushing for on THS Verity, and it's hard to get people to do it, is say, your Genji is dead, or your blank is dead, right? It just gets more information in about the same amount of time to your team, and like I said, it's nitpicky.
But without the half second of thinking.
Yes. It's nitpicky, but it helps immensely, because
Alright, I'll try and do that.
yeah. I recommend you guys all get into the habit of doing that. It's difficult, and there will be 2 or 3 people on the team who just don't, but you just need to keep bugging them and bothering them about it until they finally just give in and do it, right?
Yeah, I
Unless you're
understand that
THS
because, like,
Verity,
I
then
have
all
a...
you have to say is
Sorry.
your Vince is dead, and they know it's Zen's dead. Because it's anonymous.
Yeah.
How many times have I...
I was just gonna say
funny.
that, like, I understand that because I have a very difficult time differentiating between voices
Yes.
and, like, who's who, and especially for a new team.
It helps tanks.
I had a lot of trouble, like, figuring out
Oh yeah.
the difference between Snake's and Sam's voice
That-
for the longest goddamn time.
Honestly, it's really fucking hard.
Okay.
I can't tell between the three of them.
Even
I,
more reason to
I end up
practice
figuring
it.
it out because Icy sounds a lot happier than the rest of the other two. That's literally the only difference. For some reason, he just sounds a lot more hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell the difference between Sam's though because I've been playing a little bit of quick play with them, just like the two of us. So I can differentiate. I'm having a stroke right now. Fuck.
All right.
I can differentiate Sam's and Vix's voices easily now.
Yes. And that will also help when Vix, when you get into the habit of just tracking ults better, and coming up with more concise game plans. People calling exactly who is down will allow you to save the time that you usually spend thinking about who said that, right? And you can instead devote that time into, oh fuck, what are we going to do instead, right? So, you have Grav Dragon, but your Zarya goes down, and he just says, I'm down. You have to think about who said I'm down, when you could be thinking about, oh yeah, we could just fucking shatter instead. Like use the Hanzo to split them up and then shatter the stragglers, right?
Or just call for a dry push and get them to burn ults and don't use ults at all.
Infinite possibilities, and I personally believe that is one of the biggest hurdles for team synergy, is just learning each other's voices. They talk about that a lot, like learn how each other play. I think it's much more important to learn what each other play, and that is a very, very easy way to fast track that process, in my opinion. We've already been at it for an hour, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up quick. I'm not gonna pause it much more. I'm just gonna draw on the screen as I see things. No real reason to bomb there. The point wasn't in your favor.
No. What are we doing?
No. Are we?
Yeah, it confused the entire team.
Sombra,
Weska, that wasn't your fault. You saw your off tank in there, and you had what, 2 supports behind you? Not at all your fault to go in. It was his fault for being there in the first place. Again, you guys went in, you kind of red misted, went in without a plan. Yeah, now you're out of time because you didn't think for the first 2 pushes.
It got to 80 so fucking fast.
Yep, it does.
I didn't think about that because I was like, we're 30% and now it's like 80.
Each percentage point is 1 second. So if it's 30%,
it's actually 1.2 seconds per.
Oh, whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah. So
close enough. But...
if it's around 30%.
Yeah, now we're just trickling the whole time.
Yeah. If it's around 30%, you
Lucio.
only have about a minute to
Yeah,
figure
hack him,
something
hack
out,
him,
you
hack
know?
him, hack him, hack him, hack him,
So
hack him,
Vix, when you have the
hack him,
luxury of
Why did we
time,
boost the baby diva though?
I have Al coming back.
I believe she stepped in front of it when she was trying to
That's
boost
a
you.
big pick
Oh,
Verity.
okay.
Um,
happens.
She's really low. Diva.
yeah, especially in trickle fights like this. You can't blame anybody for that. Yeah, so
calls,
Vix, when you have a second to think, think of it as a precious commodity, you know? Like, you just capped .1 on Eichenwald, and their team is setting up on defense. Instead of
Alright.
trying to commit
Alright,
to
I'm just
getting the stagger kills,
Mm-hmm.
stop, let them regroup, and, get back together, because it slows down the economy. You guys aren't gaining any
Okay.
more ult charge, they aren't gaining any more ult charge. That's not to say that you shouldn't play aggressively, because I know that a lot of the coaches like that you guys play aggressively. But Vix, when you need the time to think, you need to communicate to the team that you need a second, right? But it's a double-edged sword, because you also need to recognize when you have a second to think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other than that, this was a very, very, very good game. Weska, you need to go buy a Lego kit and put them under your desk and just step on them anytime you start to feel relatively happy about how you're playing.
No, here's the thing. I've tried to figure out why everyone's so off and iffy about stepping on Legos, because I feel nothing.
Okay.
I need
Okay, hang on.
thumbtack.
I'm gonna take a small step up here. Go in increments.
You need to step
go
on
take-
one individual.
Go
Lego
take
Thumbtacks,
go take
fire
a
ants.
red hot branding iron. Hold a propane torch next to your desk.
That
Heat
is
that up. and-
15 steps higher.
No, that's about the same as a Lego.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's nothing to scalding your skin.
Remember Oasis .1.
That's Vietnam.
Exactly. We're gonna have our own 9/11 within the team. Oasis .1. Never forget. Rest in peace, my guys at Oasis
Point
University.
1 was an inside job.
Oh my god! Every single time I play on Oasis University, I'm gonna be fucking pissed now. Thanks for that.